I'm making vegan mac and cheese, and so far I have a pot of boiling water and there's pasta in there, 14 ounces of pasta, and I don't have a steamer, so I just use the pasta strainer. And I've got half an onion, a whole carrot, and a cup and a half of broccoli steaming. I'll let this steam for about 10 minutes before I add it to the blender, and the pasta is going to cook all the way through. And I'm getting some stuff in the blender. I will let you know when it's all in there and give you the ingredients for that. In my blender, yes, that is butter. There is 1 tablespoon of butter in this recipe. It calls for the Earth Balance veggie or vegan butter, but I refuse to use processed chemical garbage, so I'd rather use cream that has been churned to be made into butter, and 1 tablespoon of butter is not going to kill us or count us unvegan. So in this blender, there is 1 tablespoon of butter, 3/4 cup of raw organic cashews, 1 cup of chickpeas, and I made the chickpeas myself. They're not from a can. There's 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, which you can modify a lot for this recipe, but I don't recommend you make it without the nutritional yeast because that's probably the most important part. There's 6 garlic cloves, 2 sprigs of fresh organic rosemary, which I got on sale and I'm so happy about. It was 2 packets for $3. Amazing. 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 1/4 cup of almond milk, and a teaspoon of salt. And that's it. Now I'm going to blend all of that. Wait till the veggies are done. Then add them to that mixture. Blend it again till it's smooth. And then just mix it all with the pasta. Put it in a quart dish and crumble some breadcrumbs on top, which I'll pulse in the food processor now, and bake it covered for 25 minutes, and then uncover it, put the breadcrumbs and bake it, broil it on low for another couple minutes till it's nice and golden. And that's it. I'll let you see the finished product. So now we're going to blend this. I'm nervous. Let's see how smooth it gets. I can get. It's pretty nice. And now we're going to add the veggies to it. And we're blending again with the broccoli, carrot, and onion. He's begging for this delicious snack. Should be enough. Everything's well blended together. Now literally all that's left to do is wait for the pasta, mix it all together, and bake it. These are date balls. It's just dates, flax seeds, walnuts, no pecans, and a little splash of almond milk all mixed together, and then you just form them into little balls. And my children absolutely devour them. I make all my beans dry beans, so I soak them overnight and then I'll boil them for an hour to an hour and a half depending on which bean it is. Some need longer than others to cook, but for this recipe I only needed a cup of garbanzo beans, so I'll pack the rest, put them in the fridge, and next time I make this I can just pull out a cup or obviously make a different dish with them. But this is so nice because you don't get the BPA from the cans, and they're sprouted, so the nutrients is a lot higher than a canned bean, and they're, you know, it just takes an hour to boil, and then you got them in the freezer, which is just as convenient as a can, if not easier, because you just open it like a Ziploc bag. This is how it looks right before baking. Everything is cooked, obviously, but still we're gonna bake it to get the sauce to thicken up and hug the noodles and get all yummy and gooey. I'm going to cover it and bake it on 350 for about 25 minutes. And I did want to say, I think this is the only dish that I hide my vegetables in, and it's only because that's what the recipe calls for. But it's a great way to make mac and cheese for your children and give them a bunch of nutrients along with it. And I did want to say some things that you could modify. Obviously, the fresh rosemary doesn't have to be fresh. It can be dried. The only reason I used fresh is because it was on sale. I couldn't pass it up. The cashews, I think they need to be raw, but obviously they don't have to be organic. The chickpeas, you can do a can if you want to do a can. Carrot, onion, broccoli, nutritional yeast I would stick with because it gives it a cheesy flavor. And then the butter, you can use margarine or the Smart Balance, I think, something like that. And the almond milk, I'm sure you can use rice milk. And then, of course, regular dairy milk if you want to use that. It doesn't have to be a vegan dish. You can add some real milk, real butter if you like, even real cheese if you wanted. And you can use up to 16 ounces of pasta. We use around 14 because we like it to be a little saucier than if it's 16, it tends to dry out a lot. And that's all I wanted to say. We'll see what it looks like when it's done. Here it is after 25 minutes of baking, covered. And now I'm going to put some breadcrumbs and broil it for a few minutes so they get nice and toasty on low. And it's ready, nice and toasty. It needs to sit now for a little while before you serve it so that it sets nice. And when you cut into it, it is everything you want a comfort food to be. Warm and gooey and filling and comforting. So I hope you get to try it and enjoy it. We will tonight. We're leaving it with the babysitter, well, my mom. We have a babysitter in the family. This is a great food to leave with a babysitter because you know your kids will eat it happily and it'll be easy for them to feed it to them. Enjoy.